am now live, barefaced, and ready to rock and roll. We're going to talk about, well, it's an Ask Me Anything live. And so I'm inviting you, anybody who wants to ask me anything personal about you, something maybe you could see that I might want to share about me. But while we're doing this, I'm going to get ready for a free live that I'm doing tonight. Ooh, that's cute. So you get to watch me do my makeup. Hello. And we're going to talk tonight about, we're finishing off a 5-call free series in my Pragmatic Magic University. It's a free Telegram group. You can go to my link in bio. Look at me. And get the link to join the Telegram chat. We're going there in 2 hours, but I thought I would do like a get ready behind the scenes live with you guys while I do my makeup. So I titled this Relationship Rehab so that, if you guys want to ask questions about relationships, I am an energy coach. I use the tools of Access Consciousness to facilitate people in all places in their life. And most of it comes down to relationships, because whether it's like I'm doing a body class, which is like relationships with money, or I'm doing a relationships class, which is like the people you like to do kissy with sometimes. Or I should have made sure all my makeup's in front of me. Or we're doing a parenting class or a money class. It's all about like your relationships, all these things. So, basically this weekend I'm doing a 2-day class called Relationship Rehab, and we're going to be talking, how do they do this? Guys, I've never done this on a live before. I have a mirror over there. I'm going to do it in the mirror. Okay. So, and I'm going to look here. So pull up your questions. It could be about anything, and I will ask you a question back and we'll see what it creates for you. But to start, we're going to do some contouring of the face. There was once this reel about, wow, this is going to be weird. I saw a woman like talking about don't ever let your man like see you doing contour. So basically everybody's going to see me doing contour because it's scurry, because they're like, they get you home and you take off like your push-up bra and you're like, I wish I could ask anonymous questions. Go get a fake account. Look at this. They're like, you take off your Spanx and you take off your fake eyelashes and you take off your push-up bra, and then you take off your face paint, and they're like, who did I go on a date with? Okay. So this is how it looks, guys. Okay. But here's my favoriteest thing. Okay, so if you don't want to go get like lip filler and lip flip and all the things the ladies are doing these days, you actually can just fake it with, what's this called? This is called a Wonder Stick, but basically with contour. So watch this. What? Okay. So that's where we're going to start. Okay, so you guys, what questions do you have? Which stick do you use? Thanks, Dee. I have so many different, I get bored a lot. So I'm like a humanoid who has a million different things. So I love this MAC palette. This one's like, it's a cheapie. It's NYX Wonder Stick. There's another one in here that I like. Oh, let me show you this one. It's by e.l.f. Halo Glow. It's another one. Today we're doing the stick because I feel like it lets me move faster, and it can be less like intentional. Nose is itching, sorry, where I put it. But basically then I'm going to take this guy, it's flat top kabuki, and just rub it into the places. I have what my children call a 5 head, which I just think bigger head, bigger brain. That's what I tell them. But so when you're doing contour, you're laying the background in before you put the overall on, and where you want to minimize something. So my forehead contour might be much bigger than the average bear. Yeah, the brush is on. I got this brush, simple, on Amazon. So we did a makeup class not too long ago, and I went in and was like trying to make it really easy for everybody to find everything all around the world on Amazon. And I found some really cool stuff. And I like ditched some of the products that I was like using for years that like cost me less money because I had value on them because they cost a lot of money. Okay, so why does my heart ache after a breakup of my own choosing? Why doesn't it feel expansive yet? My sweet Annie St. Clair. That's a fucking rat. Am I allowed to say fucking on the live? I don't know. That's an awesome question. And I'll tell you, because you're aware, you're aware, you're aware, you're aware, you're aware. Here's how it works, especially with relationships. That's a really great example. So when we choose something, the way that we know how to deal with it, because we were trained to look for advice. Like growing up, you were taught you didn't know anything. So you needed your parents. Is it funny to take a relationship chats with somebody that looks like this? I hope so. I hope we're laughing. Okay. Okay. So I see the other ones. I'm going to do my best to get to you guys. Okay. So basically, so I'm just going to blend this in just a little bit before. You'll see how it works out at the end. I promise I don't always just look like this. Okay. So we are taught we don't know anything when we're a little kid. Like even when you're a parent and you have a baby, you're like, they don't know anything. I have to teach them everything. But the constant way that we are entrained is that we tell them someone else out there knows more. Go find the answer from them. Whether that's mommy and daddy, grandma and grandpa, the teachers, the world around you, magazines, TV, someone on Instagram, that someone else knows something more than you. And so because you're so entrained to that idea, what happens is you actually have this insane awareness to gather information on anybody who's ever walked through anything that you're choosing. I call it like the iCloud of consciousness. Okay. Basically you put like a beacon out in the world that's like how to do a breakup, and you download everything that anybody who's ever walked through a breakup has ever been through. And you pull all of that into your world. And it's like on autopilot because you're so massively capable and aware that you get downloaded with anybody who's ever had their heart broken, anybody who's ever like lost a loved one, like they died, anything like that is under the guise of breakup. And then you download that into your world because you're so psychically aware and energetically, and you walk through the emotions that someone else in the past has dealt with because you were taught to look to someone else for how to deal with things. And it might not even be anybody you know, but it also could be like if you ever had a parent or somebody around you that went through a breakup, you energetically engaged that experience that they had. And so you might be in a situation where you're like, no, I really need to leave this relationship. This is so light for me. I'm choosing it. And you'll still pull in the emotions that everybody else uses to have relationship or to have breakup. So what does that look like? So you want to start asking, like, what is my reality here? What am I choosing this for? Like, what is actually the future that I'm asking for, that this choice actually supports? And be in that energy, like way more than the, you got to like change your focus, you know, like it's like, what wolf do you feed? You've probably heard that before. If you feed the wolf that's sitting there, that's like, I'm sad and I'm heartbroken because I'm going through a breakup. And everybody's like, all your girlfriends are like, let's go out and party because you're going through a breakup and we'll cheer you up. But like for you, you don't even need cheering up because it's something that you chose willingly because you know it created for you. You'll still go you can still go engage everybody, but you're like, that reality is not actually my reality. I don't need cheering up. And you claim and own what is actually yours, much louder. And the more you choose it, and the more that you know it, and the more that you claim it, no one else can do it for you, the more it becomes more true for you than the emotions that you're trying to tap into in order to be like everybody else and do everything like everybody else. Look at that. Okay. There was another question. I'm going to scroll back up. How do I know if I'm forcing this is Vincent. How do I know if I'm forcing a relationship versus pushing my egotistical limits? I don't even know. What is an egotistical limit to you, Vincent? So forcing a relationship, I would ask for energetic clues. I'm just taking it off word value. So in a class, I could explore this like much deeper with you and like what your meaning of those things are, because I obviously can't do that while reading it. But anytime we go to force anything, it's because we're pushing past awareness. And it's often awareness we don't want to have, like, especially in a relationship, if you desperately want this thing to work out and the other person is just like not showing up for it. You won't even notice like the little energetic cues that they're giving you. Like when they're like, oh, yeah, I'd love to go there with you. And then their body language is like, ugh, you know, you won't notice it because you got the answer you wanted. So you hear what you want to hear. Just going to add a little bit more because I see I'm a little lopsided. Okay. So you want to ask to stop if you're looking at where you're forcing, slow down and go, okay, what am I actually aware of with this person here? And what I'm asking for, is it something they can deliver or something they even desire? And what are they showing me with, it's like body language, communication, how they show up for it. Like, are they in? Or is all the awareness sitting right in front of me that they're actually not? Maybe they left 6 months ago and I've been forcing this thing because it's what I desire. Okay, what would it look like to lower my walls and barriers and receive that so I don't have to force past it or push past it? Okay, ooh, that stings a little bit. Okay, everything that is. And you kind of look at, we use the clearing statement, access consciousness. You can go to clearingstatement.com and you run that. Short form is point of creation, point of destruction. So everything I created from it and everything I destroyed because of it, or I'm unwilling to destroy to have something different. And you like can pock and pot everything that is. Okay, that's vulnerable. I just tapped into you. That is vulnerable. So what is it you'd like to have in a relationship? And the truth is, get really honest with yourself. Can this person have it too? Are they choosing it with you? Because in my point of view, the longer you stay in something that's not working, the further away the thing that will create for you gets. And so, what does it look like to choose you? And like, choose you, not just choose the relationship. Choosing you makes all your relationships greater. Okay. If you're just joining, we're watching Sarah get ready for a live that I'm talking in the third person. I'm doing later in my free Telegram group all about relationships. And we're doing a relationship rehab class for $250 for 2 days this coming weekend, where we just explore all of these things and kind of get us to like what is actually possible for you in relationship. And get you out of looking at everybody else for the answer. Because guys, I don't care how many, even please don't even look at me for the answer. We got to look at like, what do you know? What do you want to create? Because you are the one who can create it. So we're going to do that this weekend. Let's see. Okay. So Gracia says, I feel in rehab and relationship patterns. I know I would like a relationship, but no one has showed up. Okay, cool. So are you asking for them to show up? Have you decided? I see a lot of us ladies doing that, men too. But we're like, I really want this. But you have a whole list of things that have to be in order before the person shows up, like in your world. You're like, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then I want to travel the world before I settle down. Or, so look at the list that you have running in the background that's preventing that from showing up for you. And another really cool thing that we do unconsciously is we'll keep having like shitty relationships that don't actually support us or honor us, so that we can prevent ever having to actually commit to having a relationship that'll work for us. It's like our own little mind game. And so when you get clear on those things, you can look at the energies underneath and go, okay, what would I actually like to create here? If I wasn't, again, having to do it by some rules or some standards, like what would actually be fun for me? And guess what, guys? The craziest thing about relationships, what you're asking for very well might not have ever been created yet. And that's like a big pill to swallow. Like, I know the first time I heard that, I was like, what are you talking about? Well, if I haven't been in that type of relationship yet, then it's never been created yet, because I'm me and there's not another me. So what do you want to create in relationship that it doesn't have to look like anything you've ever seen before? Even Disney movies, even romance novels. What do you know? And would it be fun to actually engage inviting someone into your life from the perspective of like, wow, what did they know? And what can we create together that has never been created before? Okay. I'm going to scroll. How can I actualize someone? I think we just hit on that a little bit. What does it look like to choose you and not just the relationship? Great question to explore. Yeah. What does it look like? I don't know if I could paint the picture, Berta, but what I'll say is that when you start choosing it, and we'll go through tools like that in the class, like when you start actually honoring you and having a relationship with you, your standard, you actually know. Can you imagine if you went to work for a company? Look at this analogy. So you go to work for a company, and generally they have like a training manual, right? And they're like, here's how you work the computer. Here's how you check out a guest, or here's whatever. Imagine if you get to a company and they're like, yeah, I don't know, do whatever the hell you want. But hey, can you do me a favor and not lose any money? Like, basically, can you sell this thing? I don't know what it's called or how to check a client out or whatever, but it's like real loose, you know, just show up here and I'll give you all my money. Like, imagine going to work for a place like that. You're like, how do I behave here? Most, you know, employees would just run amok. It would be like the cat's away, the mice will play. And so if you don't know how to treat you, how are you ever going to teach anybody else how to treat you? If you don't have a standard of what you desire and require in a relationship, someone can come in and treat you any which way, and you're going to just deal with it and then try to fix them to teach them how to treat you when you need to be fixing you and how you're treating you. There you go. A little tough talk from my friend Berta. Okay. Why is it so difficult to have a highly emotional connection between a man and a woman in today's society? Separate lives, families. Yeah. Wow. I love that question too. So one of the things, this might be too much for a live, but when I tap into you, my friend, I get you are a strong individual and you can receive this information. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We in this reality don't really talk about, we're not raised to talk about energy. It's like we're raised with rule books. And if you've ever been put into a situation where the rules that people are asking you to follow weren't actually aligned with what works for you, then you know what I'm talking about. A lot of us were raised in those situations. So, but what happens is you start to form so many points of view about the world because of all the information, the energies, and all the exchanges you're having growing up. And we learn a lot about relationships from not just our parents, but TV and everything around it. And there's so many influences around us. And so we start to form points of view. And your point of view creates your reality. Reality does not create your point of view. And that's the one I'm telling you is a hard pill to swallow. Because I know when I first heard that, I was a big like, you, okay? Like, no, I have this point of view because everything that's ever happened to me, I have this point of view that it's hard and it's a struggle and, you know, whatever. Like for me, it was like money and all of that. And when I looked at my points of view, my financial reality like completely changed. And I have way ease and get to travel the world now and don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, but it was really changing my points of view. So just right there in your question, why is it so difficult to have highly emotional connection between men and women? Right there, if I was facilitating you a class, I would be like, hey, sweet being, what is your point of view about this? Because if your point of view is that it's difficult or it's hard, that's exactly what will show up for you. That's energetically what you will align with, and it's who you will choose, and they will be unemotionally available every time. And it's like, so you can go check the box of, and this isn't logical, okay? So it's not like you consciously go, I need to check my box. It's not that, but you'll go see my point of view was correct. And you get to always confirm that you were right, even if you're not seeking to be right. Most of us are just desperately trying not to be wrong anymore and like actually have some ease. So that's why I love when I finally got over myself and started creating my life from looking at the energies of everything. Like finally everything started to change because I wasn't fighting what wasn't me anymore. I got to actually be me and create the relationships and the business and the friendships and the parenting and my body and all sorts of things that I was struggling with before because I was doing it from somebody else's point of view that I had just been taught and made real and true for me. So I would have you look at like, what are all the points of view that you have about how hard it is? Who's proven that to you? You know, how many times has it happened where you like don't even want to question it anymore because you're like, yep, that's what's true. Now I just have to figure out how to overcome. But imagine if it were actually a lie and it could be super easy for you. And what gift are you that you haven't acknowledged because you're holding that point of view? And we can't, so the interesting thing is like, so if you have a point of view that it's hard, you have to maintain the version of you that proves that it's hard. And so you don't get access to the beauty and the gift that you are in a relationship that just expands someone else's world in the same way you would if you were like, hey, I know relationships can actually be ease for me, and I can actually pull in somebody that complements my life and that I get to complement their life, and we can co-create something together, and you get to expand into more of you, and then that gets put out there. Whether it's on a dating app or in person, you get to be more of that on the forefront, and people get to receive you from that, not the person who is expecting it to be hard, because you'll say things or pull in the person that will make it hard. Okay. And that's just how energy works. Okay. And then up above, I think I skipped over Caesar. Caesar, you asked if you can ask a question for a friend. If you're still on, you totally can. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to makeup because I think I hit everything here. Scrolling and makeup and questions and going live. So many things. I'm such a multitasker. Okay. So, eyebrows. I'm going to try to do eyebrows from a distance. Let's see. Oh, I need to plug in my phone. That was part of my original plan that I didn't do. Hold on. Okay, that's good. What can I do this here? So I powder my eyebrows. For me, it's a softer effect because I like a strong brow, which is, I have a lot of questions about my brow. Even the lady who does my brow always wants me to have a different brow because the arch, like in the beauty world, the arch is supposed to be in the center of your eye. But my face likes the arch out here. So that's where I have it. But, oh, my brother's here. Hi, brother. Do you have any questions about relationship, brother? Everybody who knows my older brother is like, your older brother's here? No, this is my younger brother. But, happy birthday, happy belated birthday, younger brother. I love you so much. Okay. I'm purposely not shouting out your name so that you don't, get all these admirers coming at you. All right. Yeah, so brows are powder with a slanted MAC number. Uh-oh, I've already worn off the number of this brush. Oh well. So because I like my brows dramatic, which by the way, I've had people write emails in about my brows, either hating them or loving them. I once asked a class live, like what their first impression of me was, just so we can do like a little experiment in exposing judgment and stuff. And one lady was like, I was afraid of you. And I said, wow. Okay, I can receive that, but what were you afraid of? What made you, I thought it was something I said or how I approached a room or, I don't know. And she said, because of your brows. Like, wow, those are some powerful brows if they could strike fear in another. Anyways, okay, so first says, I had to jump off for a few minutes, so I might have missed this if you already answered, but how can you create a relationship with someone that doesn't use the Access Consciousness tools? Oh, you're welcome, Annie. How do you do that? Allowance? Yeah, I mean, I think we highly limit the dating pool. So, interesting. Okay. So if you're on here and you don't even know what the hell Access Consciousness is, it's a set of tools, energetic tools. By the way, this is like, wow, this is my first makeup live, so I forget to tell you all these things. This is Shroom by MAC. Okay. So you start to live from the energy of your life, and then all these things expand, but then we go often to like, oh my God, the heaviness of what can show up in relationship if one is like wanting to play with the energy and the other one isn't, or isn't as into that stuff. So then what we're so cute at doing is we're like using tools to not have judgment define us or define our choices or limit our lives, because judging anything actually limits the possibility, right? So if you're like right now, this is a great time for an analogy. Oh, I forgot to show you my favorite, my favorite foundation. It's by Yensa. No one's heard of this. And I don't know why. I think they should like own the planet for faces, but it's a vitamin C and ferulic acid and some other words I can't say, but it's a silk serum foundation. It's so light and also has SPF and good coverage. Shout out to Yensa. If you want to sponsor me for my first makeup live, you're welcome. Okay, so my analogy, you're welcome to. Okay, here's my analogy. So I used to be Mac everything. Mac's the makeup brand. For the boys who were like, what's that? Mac's not a man, it's a makeup. Okay, brand. And so I would only use Mac because as a cosmetologist, I'd get like a discount from them and I love their products and I would only use them. And then people started, and they were right. So in this analogy, Mac is right, everything else is wrong. And so someone would be like, have you tried the Yensa foundation? And I'm like, no, it's not Mac. I'm right with Mac. So I would not be able to receive anything that doesn't match my judgment. So I literally would fight people. And like I was getting paid by Mac or something, like I was on some fucking contract. I wasn't. I just had decided that Mac was the only thing I ever wanted to use. And so that's what I used. And so that's what we do. We find the access tools, a lot of people, and are like, well, now Access is right. And Access is there to teach you don't have to be right or you don't have to deal with wrong. You just have to be. And so then you go, okay, well then they're wrong because they're not living their life from like energetic awareness. What if you could be a gift there? And the main thing that you want for the relationship to actually create for you is just that they don't judge you for it. And that's their only, hey, Brett. Brett's from high school. Hi, Brett. Welcome. We're doing a makeup live, Brett. Okay. So, if they're not judging you, that's all you require. If they're like letting you, follow the energy of the creation of your life and you get to be lit up and you don't have to hide the things that light you up and they don't have to hide the things that light them up and you get to celebrate each other and each other's choices and no one's trying to slow anybody down from what they'd like to create in their life, you basically have a great relationship. Whether they enjoy the access consciousness tools or not, And I find it really funny when we like want relationships that keep us engaged and not have us be like bored. But yet we want someone just like us who have the same interest of everything. That's boring to me. You have the same conversations all the time. Like, wouldn't it be cool to have somebody who has a different hobby or a different interest that gets to like show you something different? But everybody's like, oh, we have so many things in common. We're meant to be. And it's like, don't date yourself. You're all avoiding dating yourself anyways. Might as well just, do it without the headache of another person's point of view. Anyways, okay. This palette is by Morphe. It is so run down. Oh my God. Morphe, unless you call it Morphe. It really depends who you're talking to. I haven't called the company to ask. But anyhow, it's like the bronzy palette. But it is tore up. So if I were like knowing I was going to do this live today, I probably would have like made it pretty. But I'm not doing that. Okay. Hi, Emily. And hi, Fur. And hi, Dee Dee. Okay. So I didn't talk. I forgot to tell you what I was doing. I have not been trained for this. Okay. So I added like a shimmer on the like first layer. My interesting point of view is that if you add something shimmery on the bottom, you can put anything on the top and it'll move. It won't, it'll move. What does that even mean? Like you can be more free-handed when you go straight in with like a matte color, which is what I did after. Yes, you'll still have like some shimmer. I'll try to, okay. You have to have a lighter hand and then build up. This lets you go straight to the build up. That helps. Okay. Dee Dee coming in with the big guns. All right. So, let me invite you all tonight. If you go to my link in bio, my Pragmatic Magic University Telegram thread, there will be a Zoom tonight in an hour and a half with me and my friend Kate talking last night about relationships. And I am giving away a $50 gift to anyone who joins tonight. more to be explored there. That's kind of a little surprise. So we'll be going deeper in relationship conversation over there tonight. It's on Zoom. It's at 5:30. You just can log in and like listen to it, or come on camera so I can see your beautiful face and your beautiful makeup. But I see here Dee Dee brought in the big guns, and do we talk about that on a live, or do we save it for class this weekend? I don't know. Jealousy and caring. Okay. What if we talk about caring and control first? Because jealousy is like this other element that conversation we had at the top. Like the first question I answered about how we're like fed all these things about relationships, and then we go to the cloud on how we're supposed to do relationship. Jealousy has an element of that, because it's actually not true. It is so real though. Like, we make that shit so real. But truly, if you're having a relationship with you, the antidote for jealousy is have a relationship with you. Know you're fucking awesome. And then if anybody chooses something that's not you, that doesn't change how awesome you are. It's just like I've always said, like, does chocolate get mad when someone chooses vanilla? No, chocolate's like, I'm awesome. And the people that like chocolate enjoy me. And vanilla's like, yeah, I'm awesome too. It has nothing to do with you. But you invent the story with all the energies because of this collective cloud of unconsciousness that you're tapped into and downloading from all the time, because jealousy once was a thing, and it, created control. But again, let's go to caring and control. So most of us were taught, this is why the parenting classes I do free so many people with their relationship crap, because everything you think is real, that should be like a fucking t-shirt. Everything you think is real, you learn from your parents. We call it the parent code in my business. You were coded. You were coded what to think about the world, what to think about you, what to think about possibilities, what to think about relationships because of their relationship. You either want the opposite of, or you want the one just like it. And the other part of the coding is, I love you so much, I want to control everything you do. Okay? I love you so much that I decided when you were born that you were my life's purpose. And so I will only get good judgment if I'm a good parent, which means you have to turn out good. And because I like good judgment, I gotta make sure you turn out good by controlling your every move and not teaching you how to trust yourself and make your own choices. Unfortunately, that's how parenting is here. And that is fine. It is not wrong. It is just what's been handed down. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to separate from it. We don't need to reject it. We just need to acknowledge it. So when you're growing up, mom and dad says, I love you so much. It's why I put these rules on you. I want to keep you safe. I want to make sure that you don't mess things up for your future, that you don't die in a car accident, or you don't trip and fall, so tie your shoe. Like, all different levels and layers that someone who cares about you controls you. That is just a paradigm. And so then you get in a relationship. Some of us love to fight the control while desperately needing the control, because it means they care. And when they do control and they show that they're jealous, then they must care so much. And so I'm in love now. And others of us fight that while also buying into it because we choose it. Interesting, huh? We're pulling it in with what we think creates the right relationship, which if they don't judge me, or they don't try to control me, or they're not jealous of anything, they must not care. And then what's the value of being with someone who doesn't care enough about you to control you or be jealous? I don't know. Maybe freedom, maybe your freedom, maybe ease. I don't know. What do you want to create in a relationship? If you require someone else to complete you, then they're going to have a say in what you do, because they're busy completing you. Guess what? I have another tool here. I don't know what it's called or what number it is, but it's by Mac. And we toss it under here. I think I skipped over another part because I forget how to do this, but I'll get better if you guys like this. I've got lots of things in my belt of different faces I could put on. This is like, I don't know. I got this in like one of those bags where you get samples. I want to give them credit because I don't know why this fucking brush is so good. Luxje 2015 is, no, 2015. Take a picture and post it. Anyways, it's called Pack and Shade. And I don't know why, but it takes pigment straight to the area. All right. All right, jealousy and control. There you go. What did I miss? Jealousy is not real. Yes. How does one call in and request from the universe that expansive relationship we desire to connect with and with to expand and have fun with? You might just be joining. I talked about it a little bit. Like, you've got to look at all the do's and do nots that you have in your reality that are preventing that from coming in. If you want this super expansive relationship, but you're still committed to judging you and separating from you, then you're not living expansive. So everything, when you start to, and again, hi, my name is Sarah. I'm an energy coach, and I help you get underneath of the crap that's that is your life. Get underneath to the crap that's running the show, which is the energy that you've bought into and made real for you. Nice to meet you. Okay, so underneath is all the energies that you have bought into. 99% of it does not actually belong to you. It's just something you aligned and agreed with. Okay, and then you put out into your world, but you broadcast that. You're a broadcasting system energetically. You know this so well. We've all known this. We grew up, you walk in the house, even if your mom has a smile on her face, you knew that she was in a bad mood. Mom and dad are sitting on the couch, you know if they've been fighting. You've been aware of energy your whole life. You call it vibes. You kick it off. You're like, ooh, vibes are bad. That's fine. You meet someone, you get a gut feeling, you know, like, ooh, something's up here. You've been aware of energy your whole life, but no one's taught you how to create your life from the energy. Okay, we got to acknowledge that if you can perceive someone coming, like if someone's coming to your dinner party and you're like, ugh, you can like feel the stuck yuck and what the fuck in their world, and you're like, John's coming tonight, and you can like feel about John coming. It's not often, might not even be your judgment of John, it's your awareness of John's energy, okay? And they show up 10 minutes before they knock on your door because their energy arrives and you're like, oh, they're almost here. You're aware. But in that same awareness of how John brought, sorry if there's any Johns out there. That was my grandpa's name. I love John. You're not wrong, John. It's just a name that fell out of my mouth, okay? So anyways, so John's broadcasting all this energy. You're picking up, and the same way John does that is you broadcasting your points of view into the world and then drawing in energetically what matches. So if you have a litany of ways that you're judging you, but you want an expansive relationship, how are you expansed? That's not a word. How are you being expansive all the time to pull in somebody who's also expansive? It's congruency. So we always want to look out there and what are they not doing, or how do they match my checklist, or are they good enough for what I'm asking for, and all these things, and that's about them. But what are we working on about us to be that which can pull in what you're asking for? So that's the like place that is more about getting vulnerable with you and getting to that relationship with you that will create that. And then you have such a space that you don't need. The crazy thing is, once you work on the relationship with you and you have that, you don't need a relationship anymore. And so then the menu of choice of who you could choose or what is available for you is so massive that it's no longer significant or intense. It's now just a choice, and what will create greater for me, this person, that type of person, and what will expand my life even more, and where can I be a gift to expanding theirs. So different. The realest makeup tutorial yet. Thanks, Emily. Okay, so how to deal with someone who doesn't choose you in relationships or do what you expect, treat you how you expect, and not feel good enough. Barb, I'm gonna lay it on thick, my love. Why would you waste time dealing with someone? Why do we have to deal? Now, I'm going to give a caveat. I understand that we find ourselves in really deep into relationships before we wake the fuck up. And sometimes that is like you're in marriage, or you have like property together, you have children together, and it's like, I can't just get up and walk away tomorrow. I get it 1,000,000%. Okay, if that is your situation, there's a set of questions. If you were in class, I would ask you to look at all the different choices that you do have available, that you're avoiding knowing that you have available because you've decided this is the way it is. By the way, eyeliner would normally come next, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that with this distance and also talk because, well, we'll see. If I mess it up, then I mess it up. Start over. Kind of like relationships. Okay. Anyways, so this is challenge 101. I'm going to do it over there. So how do you deal with them? Stop dealing with them and start asking yourself a bunch of questions. What's the value of finding people to deal with is probably the first one. Because if you're anything like me and you're great at solving problems, then it's quite possible that you are dating a problem that you get to solve. Because it's hard to talk while doing a straight line. And not, see, look, poking myself in the eyeball. So we'll just clean that up after. Imagine if I did a perfect makeup on my first live. Like, would I ever have to go back again if I didn't mess up and prove to myself that I could do it without messing up? I don't know. Okay. So to Barb, I get that, but what if you focusing on you treating yourself the way that you think that they need to treat you? That's the secret sauce, my love, because we teach people how to treat us. And so a lot of times we set expectations on others to be something that we think we need, but we're not being it for us. So we've never shown the other person how to be it for us. So we're like sending mixed signals all the time. So get vulnerable with yourself and go, okay, what do I need them to be that I'm not being for me? And then start being it for you. You start making these little adjustments, these little energetic shifts, and you'll start to see the relationship change in ways that you probably couldn't have predicted or demanded even. And that lie of not feeling good enough, punch it in the face, my sweet. Punch it in the face every day and go, not today, bitch. Okay? And the way that you do that is you look at it and you go, you've run the show. This little voice who tells you I'm not good enough has run the show far too long, and we're not running the show anymore. You pull its microphone out of its fucking hand and you make it go sit down. And then every time that it tries to stand back up, you acknowledge something about you. And you own it and you scream it into that microphone louder into your reality until you actually believe it. Okay? It's just a programming, and it has nothing to do with your value or the gift of you. So I hope that contributed. What question you use to build self-love? Well, this is a big one. I love your question about self-love. Because I didn't have it for way too long. Because like a lot of us, I was taught that my value was in what I give to others. And ironically, when I started actually adoring myself and finding value in myself, I had way more to give to others. And it doesn't like exhaust me. I don't know how to pull this mirror over. I have another mirror right here. No. Now I gotta keep you in line with me. Oh, there's a toilet over there. That's weird. Okay, hold on. I'll come back. Hopefully you can still hear me. So there's a thing in access consciousness that I used to hear, and then I had like this face all the time. Anytime I'd hear it, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't get it. Go write a Hallmark card was probably like my little sassy inside voice in my head. And they're called the 5 elements of intimacy. And they would talk about these elements all the time. And I was like, you can talk to me all the time about these things, but if I don't know how to have these things, talking to me about them is not going to get me there. And then one day, something shifted and I found my own way from continually asking to play with those tools. And basically the 5 elements are honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, and vulnerability. Honor, is that 5? Honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, vulnerability. If I can count, I think that's 5. So if you have honor for yourself, you trust yourself, which we weren't taught to do, have gratitude for yourself, allowance for yourself, and vulnerability with yourself, then you have a great relationship with yourself. And to me, that all kind of comes under the package of self-love. And you literally, now I know how to have them with myself. They would say all the time, you can't have those with another unless you're having them with yourself. And I would be like, well, how come the only time I can get vulnerable is because I'm with this person or this friend who doesn't judge me? It turns out I was only like scraping the surface of possibility, because once I had them with me, all of my relationships blossomed into something totally different, because I'm being a different demand with how to treat me. and showing them that they can, giving them that invitation to them to treat themselves the same, and being an allowance of them honoring themselves. So all that to say, the way that I play with these tools, now I'm an access consciousness facilitator. These are the tools that I use. And I've been around access since the year 2000, but I started facilitating in years 2016, which I think makes 9 years that I've been actively using the tools daily. So it's hard to just like hand this over in a live, but you can go look it up. I have stuff on my website of classes that I've facilitated. We will be just talking about it this weekend in our 2-day relationship rehab class. And that is the way that I developed these into my life is anytime something would come up about anything, like literally we think this lives into like one topic of our, like, I'm going to change relationship with myself when I'm doing things with myself, or I'm going to change relationship with myself or my relationships when I'm having a relationship problem. But the more times that I've unlocked someone's relationship problem through their money flows or how they interact with money is fascinating. And the amount of times that I've looked at somebody's relationship and known why their money flows are stopping, fascinating, okay? Because it's all about places you're willing and not willing to receive. So, but anything would come up in my life, I'm gonna make this short and then I'll stop boring you with my makeup. But you're welcome, Barb. If it's Barb. I think it's Barb. Barbie? I see a Y now. Also I have ADHD if you haven't noticed. Is I started to ask questions of the 5 elements, or have the 5 elements ask me questions as if they were like, you know, that Inside Out movie where they have like all the little characters in the head. It's like those 5 elements were the only 5 elements that talks to me through stuff. So it'd be like, hey guys, to the 5. Hey 5, which one of you wants to facilitate me right now? So I'm having something come up. I don't care if it's about money. I don't care if it's about relationship, my kids, my animals, my business. This is what's coming up. Which one of you wants to facilitate? And sure enough, one would pop up, and then let's say it's vulnerability. And the vulnerability would be like, hey girl, why are you not choosing vulnerability right now? And then I would have to go, oh my gosh, I have so many walls and barriers up. I have so much that I'm fighting for and against right now. I want to be right here, and I don't want them to be right. And I also don't want to be wrong. And I'd be like, okay, if I was truly being vulnerable here, vulnerability is giving me that question. If I was truly being vulnerable here, what could I choose? And then from there, in the choosing of it, I would adapt more vulnerability. And the more that I did that with all of those 5 elements, the more I had a relationship with me, which I would call self-love. And in that self-love, then I could have different relationships with others, because again, I'm prepared to teach them. I have the handbook on how to treat me because I'm treating me like that. And that is like a door opener to possibilities, kids. I'm really getting that. So we give ourselves up everywhere for everything, usually because we had a wonderful mother who loved us so much, who was taught that in order to be a good mom, she had to give herself up for her kids. And we were modeled that, and then we go off and we do that for everybody that we love. And until there's none of us left in the relationship. Okay, so I hope that contributed. Oop, big no-no on the mascara. Oh, getting it on your finger. That could have been very dangerous. Okay, so mascara is going to be Bad Girl Bang. I live for this. I'm a little bit... I need to order a new one. Okay, I'm going to do mascara. Yeah, and if you come tonight, it's like an hour and 15 minutes to my free Telegram group, we're doing another, it's been about 45 minutes chat about relationships. And I'm also going to be giving away $50, a $50 valued prize to anybody who is on the Zoom live. And that's in an hour and 15 minutes. And you can find out more in the Telegram chat that's in my bio. So I just came here today to do my makeup in front of people, which I've never done. So that's fun. New experience for all of us. And while I get ready, I thought I would just talk to you all about makeup and relationships and contribute to anybody who had a question. So if you have any questions, and it doesn't have to be about relationships, if you want to talk about anything else, that's really cool. You could ask me anything. I was even prepared to have you ask me questions about myself. And then I'll just choose if I want to answer them. But what I will say, for those of you who might be one first time on a live interacting with me, is that I changed my life in the year 2000. What year is that? Like 2014, like about 11 years ago. I woke up one day, I had an email from my husband telling me that like our financial situation was dire, and it was all like basically all accounts were in the red. He was overwhelmed. He was trying to hide it from me so that like to protect me from the emotions of that, and he couldn't hold the stress in his world anymore. And I was none the wiser. I was like dancing around like everything was fine. He was doing a very good job holding that energy away from me, and suddenly everything came crashing down. I won't bore you with a long story today. We'll do that another time. But I am prepping my eyelashes, so this will be fun and on video. Anyhow, and so that was when I called my brother, who owned and had been co-creator and had using these crazy weird energy tools for years that I just totally gave no thought to because I thought it was too weird, too woohoo. Love from Turkey. Hi, grand fan from Turkey in 2020. Hello. I like that your name's Applause. 22. Does that mean you are 22? You were born, you like the number 22? See what happens when I look at the screen? I get very distracted. Okay, so I was like, I don't know where else to turn. I guess I'm gonna turn to this weird shit that my brother does, because right now it feels like I don't have anything else to lose. I called my brother, and he gave me one of the greatest gifts that I will never forget. And it wasn't money, believe it or not. Although he'd given me a lot of money over the years to fix my fuck ups. But, oh shit, Berta! Berta, if you're still watching the live, I need help. Berta! Well, let's see if I can do it with what I have. I left my eyelash glue in my purse. My purse is over there. Okay. Let's see what happens. Will you bring me my purse? My like pretty striped purse has some stuff in it that I need. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Grateful. Because I traveled to Houston yesterday and I didn't want to take all my makeup, so I just took the things that could go wrong with me. Okay. Anyhow, I called my brother, and this is like, did I just do a cliffhanger for you guys? I'm like, he gave me the greatest gift. And then I forgot what I was saying. Did I lose weight again? Yes, thank you for noticing. I did lose weight again. Okay, so my brother, greatest gift my brother ever gave me was not money. It was not jewelry. The greatest gift my brother ever gave me was he took away my fear. Because you know what, guys? If you don't have fear, ain't nothing stopping you except that stupid lie that you're afraid of it. That's the only thing. My brother said, he addressed my fears immediately, and he said, I just want to let you know you will never be hungry. You and your kids will never be hungry, and you'll never be homeless. And to me, if I didn't have to worry about those things, then I was unstoppable. He said, I've got you. And the moment I let that, whatever, the fear out of my world, my whole life changed. I started using these tools, as weird and wacky, with less fear of being judged. But I mean, let's face it, when you go against being like normal, average, real, and the same as everyone else, you're going to be judged. So you probably just got to get ready for that. But with the tools, I didn't have to buy into the judgment. I just got to see it as someone's point of view, and it didn't have to affect my life, which was super cool. And within 3 months, I had $1,000 in savings. And at the time, I don't know if you've ever been like red in all accounts. Hi, kitty cat. Or, you know, geez, facing possibly losing your house and all that shit. $1,000 saved. I had never seen that much money in one place in my whole life. I've been living paycheck to paycheck. And to go from zero, like negatives, to have, oh, hello. hi kitty, to having $1,000 in the bank. I might as well have been a millionaire in that moment, because that's what it felt like. And fear being taken out, I was like, oh my God, what else can I create with this? Fast forward, that was like 2015. I became a facilitator, started a side gig, exploring these tools and contributing to other people. And then I haven't looked back. In 2020, I closed down my hair salon, and I've been on the up ever since. And that was from a choice to start to change the energies in my life, not just look at like the wrongness of me and try to get out of it all the time. So I feel like I'm leaving you. I was going to leave right now, but I'm like, it feels weird to leave without doing my whole, like my eyelashes and stuff. So I guess I'll stay here for that, but I need to, do you guys have any questions? No. Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. What would have to change in your life right now for you to choose to be happy? What's the one thing you've decided, if this changed, then I could be happy? Is it your relationship? Is it your body? Is it your work? Money? What is the thing that needs to change? My kitty cat. Say hello. Say hi, I'm Salem. I get in mommy's way every day, so at some point, somewhere. Salem. No, baby. Stay over here. How is my kids and husband? They are great. My son is going on to get his doctorate. My girls are senior and freshman in high school starting next week. My baby's going into high school. Oh my God. It's crazy. Yeah, everything's great. Berta says, feel like I've been sitting chatting with a friend while she does her makeup. So intimate and so cool. Awesome. Dee Dee says, so happiness is a choice. Yes. Barb says, money. Cool. So if I told you, Barb, I'm going to play a little game with you, my friend Barb. If I said right now on this live, I had the freedom to give away $10 million, no, let's go bigger, $50 million. And I said, who would like the $50 million? And all the hands went up. Okay, follow me. And then I just scrolled and I said your name. And the minute I said your name in this analogy, or in this game, it meant that you were chosen for the $50 million. So in that instant, you became a millionaire. Okay? In that instant, you became a millionaire. But I told you that the money would not be deposited into your bank account until for 2 weeks. Barb, if you're still here, would you be happy the minute you know you won the money and it's on the way, or would you wait the 2 weeks? Would you wait the 2 weeks to be happy about being a millionaire? Please do answer in the chat. Anybody and everybody. It doesn't have to be Barb. If I told you right now I had gifted you $50 million and it just took 2 weeks to process. Now, don't go adding like caveats to my story, because this is my analogy, not yours, okay? So, in 2 weeks, $50 million is guaranteed into your bank account in this story. When do you become happy? Happy as soon as I found out. Thank you. Someone's answering me. Everybody else is ignoring me. My brother, who start access bars, is amazing. Thank you. He is wonderful. He's actually going to Turkey very soon. So I would be happy the minute I knew it. I'm so glad you're still here, Barb. This makes me very happy. So Trini says immediately. English teacher Clarice says, wow. I don't know if that's for my eyelash or for this analogy. I'm very beautiful without makeup. You are very correct. I am. And I also enjoy it. Okay. So I'm going to do this eyelash until it, then I'll explain to you. So, if you get that you could become happy the moment you know money is coming your way, then is it because the money that you're happy, or did you just choose to be happy? You chose to be happy because the money's not in your account yet, but you still had the access to choose the joy of receiving money. And if you start to choose the joy of receiving money, money has way more avenues, ways, and possibilities in finding you. But if you're holding on to your happiness until you receive the money, boy, are you limiting, because money, the cool thing about money is that it doesn't really have a point of view about who it goes to. It's just energy. But it will go to Salem. That's a big mess you just made, dude. Money likes to go where it has money friends, and where it will be received, and where it can add to something that's already there. So what if you just chose your happiness now and didn't wait? Oh, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. All right. Okay, you're talking. Wow, awesome. I had this beautiful gift of a woman give me this beautiful mirror. It just fell on the ground and it came in 2 pieces and I'm sad. Okay. Oh, lip, and then I'm done. And then you guys, if you want to come join us in an hour in the Telegram thread, you go to the Telegram, free Telegram thread, it's in my bio, and then there'll be a Zoom link, and you can come, and you can come on our Zoom, and we'll be talking about relationships. And then if you already know, you're like, oh, this sounds like something I'd like to play with, energy tools and relationships, I have a class this weekend called Relationship Rehab, where we dive into all the energetics. The tagline is where it gets messy and magical. And it's like 2 5-hour days. It's only $250, which is actually less than a 30-minute session with me. If you were to do a one-on-one session, that costs $300 for 30 minutes, and this is 2 days for less than that. Okay, my daughter gave me this lip gloss. We're gonna see what happens. I'm a little bit scared because look at its color. I usually like a nude lip. Yay, from Mexico. Oh, not too bad. So you can join us this weekend too, and you can come right now. And if you come right now or in an hour, we will be giving away a $50 gift to anybody who's on the Zoom live tonight. So we would love to have you. I will be, thanks Bert. I will be there in an hour. We can continue these conversations. Basically what happens is my dear friend Kate gets on and she already has like a topic and questions, and I'm like going in blind. I don't know what the topic or question is going to be for the day. And we just explore whatever shows up. So it's kind of fun. I'm amazing with few chubbies. I don't even know what that means. But I'm going to say thank you. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Maybe we'll do this again if you guys enjoyed it. It was a little vulnerable to do makeup in front of people, but here we are. No one died. I got my face on. I didn't poke myself in the eye. To me, that's a win. Okay, I'll see you guys later, hopefully in an hour. Come see us. Bye.